Hello everyone. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for embarrassing my stepmother by telling our neighbor that her relationship is a product of an affair? My 16th birthday is soon. I want to celebrate with my mom and siblings on the actual day, but my dad asked if I could come over to his to celebrate my birthday as well as his housewarming party. Anyway, I did not want to come. I'm not on good terms with my dad or his wife and new kids, but because of the custody arrangements, I have to spend some weekends with him. My stepmom is someone who is very eager to please everyone, and she loves to brag about her lifestyle. She just carries herself in an extremely condescending way. My parents divorced when I was 7 whilst my mom was going through chemotherapy for stage 3 breast cancer. My dad had an affair when my mom was in hospital, and he said it was due to the stress of having to look after us and that he needed some female comfort, whatever the hell that means. They tried to make things work after the affair, but they never could since my dad wouldn't stop seeing my now stepmom, who was my mom's co-worker. This was the biggest betrayal. My mom worked in a small business. Everyone was like family, and her co-workers visited us often and used to bring us goodie bags. My stepmom was one of them. They've been married for 9 years now, and I have never been able to have a relationship with them. So during the housewarming event, one of the neighbors approached me and asked how I feel about having a stepmom and blended family. She was asking me cause her daughter, who is in a similar age range to me, struggles with it. I just flat out told her that I don't view them as family because their affair broke any relationship. She was visibly shocked, and my stepmom was bright red and was stuttering, saying that there was no overlap and that I was young and confused. She proceeded to lock herself up in her room crying, and when the party was over, my dad screamed at me saying that I'm so hard to love and that I'm so bitter. I told him that I feel the same way. I tried to act like it didn't hurt me, but I'm so upset that my own father would say this to me. I always knew he loves his new family more than me, but I didn't expect him to say it outright. My stepmom said that if I come over, she would no longer spend weekends with him and will take the kids away. My dad is on the phone with my mom asking if it would be fine if I no longer come over. My stepmom is now refusing to leave the house, saying she's humiliated and can no longer show her face around the neighborhood, which is quiet, close-knit. So do you guys think I'm the I know what I did was wrong, but what they did was 100 times worse. Just looking for an objective opinion. What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for kicking my sister out of my house for telling my husband he's so lucky to be rich? My husband lost both of his parents when he was 17. Their deaths were preventable and others died alongside them, and because of this a lawsuit followed, and at a young age my husband found himself orphaned but wealthy. But I think we can all understand that this money wasn't some great thing that he celebrated, because it came at a huge loss for him, his parents. We met a few years after he was awarded the money, and we got married after dating for 4 years. We're now the proud parents to our 3 kids, and we have a stable life. We're very comfortable, and few know exactly how much my husband actually has. He's very smart with his money and not only invests, but looks to our future and the future of each of our children. We both still work very hard, but the money means we are also very fortunate. My family, parents and sister, is aware that my husband's parents are dead. They also know about the lawsuit and that money was paid to the family members. They have no idea how much my husband has. Not my parents and definitely not my sister. But they know and were told how he'd give it all away to have his parents back. Which is why I reacted strongly when my sister made the comment she did. We had my family over for dinner. My sister mentioned wanting to bring her boyfriend for any future dinners, and everyone was talking about that. Then my sister mentioned wanting to go away with her boyfriend for the weekend and how they were saving up to go. She said it was a big step because they were also talking about moving in with each other. My husband mentioned we had gone to the place they were talking about going to and they'd have a great time. She said she hoped so, but she wouldn't have the same kind of money he does. He told her we did nothing fancy there, which is 100% true. My parents wanted to know when they were thinking of moving in together. Things were going fine. Then my sister out of nowhere said to my husband the least he could do was offer them the money for the weekend away since he could afford it. I shut her down and said she wasn't entitled to other people paying for her trips with her boyfriend. My sister responded that he could afford to send them for a month if he wanted to. My husband told her that was a big ask, and she snapped at him and said he had no idea how lucky he was to be rich because she'd give anything to have that kind of money. The insensitivity of the comment enraged me, and I told my sister she needed to leave. I made sure to get her ass out that door too because I wasn't tolerating that BS. My sister has told me almost every day since that I overreacted and throwing her out was OTT. I told her I don't want to hear anything but a sincere apology from her to my husband, and until that point she can stay out of my house. My husband said I didn't need to stand by that and he didn't want to come between us. I told him he wasn't coming between us. She was. Am I the bad person for my actions, and am I being too harsh here? I just thinking that comment is downright cruel and vicious when you consider my husband had to be orphaned to get that money. What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for letting my boyfriend get a taste of his own medicine? My 29F boyfriend, 27M, has this habit of constantly calling me dumb or stupid. It started as a joke, and at first, I laughed along. But over time, it became his go-to way of addressing me, no matter the situation. I asked him, begged him to stop, especially in front of his friends, but he would just chuckle and say, "What? But you are dumb." His friends even picked it up, and now they casually call me dumb too. It's humiliating. I started avoiding his social gatherings because I knew I'd just be the butt of their jokes. Whenever I told him how much it bothered me, he'd just say I was being too sensitive and that it was just a joke. Last night, I hosted a party with my work colleagues. It was important to me because I work in a competitive field, and many of my co-workers are incredibly accomplished. I introduced my boyfriend to everyone, hoping he'd be on his best behavior. But of course, he wasn't. Barely an hour in, he started the dumb comments again. My close work friends are used to me venting about this, but one of my senior colleagues, an incredibly sharp, no-nonsense woman, was clearly unimpressed. She turned to him and said, "Hey, you're a guest here, and you do realize who you're talking to, right? Maybe cut the dumb comments." He just laughed, like he always does. Then later in the evening, I accidentally dropped my drink while reaching for it, and right on cue, he loudly called me dumb again. That's when my senior completely shut him down. You know, everyone in this room has either an advanced degree, multiple certifications, or years of experience in their field, including my name, who's one of the smartest and most competent people I've worked with. The only person here without those credentials is you. So if we're talking about intelligence, you're the least qualified person to judge. Dead silence. For the first time ever, my boyfriend had nothing to say. He went completely red and barely spoke for the rest of the night. When we got home, he was livid. He said I should have defended him, that I let my colleague humiliate him, and that what she said was unnecessary and cruel. I just looked at him and said, "So now you know how it feels." He's sulking and acting like I'm the bad guy. For what it's worth, my senior later apologized to him before leaving, saying she didn't mean to be harsh, but was just looking out for me. Now he's acting like I betrayed him, but I can't bring myself to feel bad. After years of him publicly embarrassing me, wasn't it fair for him to finally experience what he put me through? Am I the bad person? Can't wrap my head around that story. What do you think? Who is in the wrong there? Let us know down in the comments section, and let's move on to our last case. Case 4. Am I the bad person for kicking my sister out after she refused to follow one simple rule? So a few weeks ago, my younger sister, Emily, 26F, asked if she could stay at my house for a while. She was going through a rough patch of bad breakup, lost her job, the usual. I, 30M, live alone in a nice house with my dog, Baxter, a big, friendly Labrador who's basically my kid. I told Emily she could stay as long as she needed, but I had one rule: do not leave doors open. Ever. Baxter is well trained, but he's an escape artist. If he sees an open door, he's gone. He doesn't run away permanently, but he'll sprint out into the neighborhood, and I have to chase him down. It's a hassle, and I've had to get him from random backyards more times than I can count. I made it clear to Emily, close the door. Every time. No exceptions. She laughed it off, said, yeah, I got it, and moved in. Fast forward 2 days later, I come home from work, and yep, front door is wide open. No Emily in sight. No Baxter. I freak out, grab his leash, and spend over an hour running around the neighborhood like a lunatic, calling his name. Turns out some random guy a few streets over had grabbed him before he could run into traffic. Thankfully, Baxter was fine, but I was furious. I get home, and Emily is just chilling on the couch. I ask her what happened, and she shrugs and says, "Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to close it. I lost it." I reminded her that I had one rule and that she put my dog in danger. She rolled her eyes and said, "Relax, he's fine. It's not that serious." I told her if she couldn't respect something this basic, she needed to find somewhere else to stay. She got all defensive, saying I was being dramatic over a dog and that she had nowhere else to go. I stood my ground. Now, she's staying with a friend, and our parents are pissed at me, saying I overreacted and chose a dog over family. Some friends agree, saying it was a simple mistake. But I don't think forgetting once is an excuse when I made it so clear how important it was. Am I the bad person? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.